Welcome back to Banter Broadcast. Welcome back to Off the Bar Banter. My name is Brendan, and of course, I am joined with my co-host Ben. And in this video, we're going to be discussing the breaking news coming out of Manchester United. No, it's not the Glazers selling off Manchester United, which is something that we're really hoping to see anytime now. But I think something slightly better is the new contract that Edinson Cavani has put to pen and paper today. He is staying one more year. He's going to be able to play in front of fans, play in front of the Manchester United faithful, play in Old Trafford with a full capacity, the theater of dreams. And as Manchester United fans, I think Ben and I are looking forward to it. Now, I will admit, I have been skeptical in the past. I even put up this tweet here that you guys will be seeing on screen. Um, I pretty much control the Primetime Banter Twitter account, which again, links will be in the description down below to all our social medias and our podcast as well. And I think, okay, not gonna lie, I looked at it as this is going to be another Falcao type of situation. This is a quick striker replacement. He's way past his prime. He's done well at PSG even in his 30s, but against PSG compared to the Premier League. And I was proven wrong because I think as of recording, he has 19 goal involvements this season. 20, Ben lets me know, 20 goal involvements this season. I think that's only slightly, I think he's up there in the scoring next to guys like Rashford and Bruno Fernandes this season. So in terms of goal involvements and in terms of scoring as well. So listen, I gotta say it's a bad tweet. It was not my greatest moment, but I did have skepticism. But Ben, take it away. What could Manchester United fans now expect from Edinson Cavani staying for one more season?
Now, I would just like to point out, I was fully behind this signing. Not the amount of money. 10 million's a lot, but I was fully behind this because we say Falcao because they're both from South America. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We didn't say the Igalo replacement because Igalo would have been more kind of apt. It was a kind of quick signing that no one really saw coming in the beginning of the day. So it would have made a lot more sense to say that. Falcao had a lot of expectation on him. He was struggling through a lot of injuries at the time. Yes, he was still pretty terrible, and I'm not going to refute that. I mean, he was awful, but he had a very good reputation coming in. It seemed to be that kind of. I understand that sort of replacement. With Cavani, I think he brings kind of what we're hoping out of Greenwood. And thankfully, he's taken Greenwood under his wing. And during that time, it seems like he's given all the confidence in the world to Mason because he's been on fire.
Towards the end of the season now. I mean, throughout the season, not so much. But now, the past few games, scoring and assisting.
People were complaining about how bad he was. Guys, he's gotten to 10 goals this season. Like, he's gotten past 10 goals.
Yeah.
So,
what is he at 16 goal involvements in all competition?
Yeah, to me, I think I chalk it up to, especially out of position, but I chalk it up to Cavani being there. I think he does so much for Greenwood. I think that's a huge reason why you keep him around. But another thing is you don't have a guy like him. I don't think there's a guy actively on the market that you can afford with Jadon Sancho, which it seems. I won't say nailed on, but it seems like if United don't get him this summer, it will be.
It's either it doesn't get to this summer, it doesn't go at all, which you can check out our opinions on our latest off the bar banter video. Ben and I discussed is Jadon Sancho going to Manchester United this summer? I think Ben and I said yes, but I think we also talked about some other replacements there and some other needs other than Sancho, and maybe Sancho isn't a priority signing. But I think what Cavani brings is the typical number 9. He is a poacher in the box. He's able to make the runs when needed to be. He's able to also score those rebound tap-in goals and be able to collect on follow-ups. I mean, he's your typical number 9, the traditional number 9 that I think Manchester United hasn't seen since Lukaku was sort of it, but since I think Zlatan, even if you want to go a little bit past that. Now, bringing up Zlatan, Ben, was this a better free agent signing than Zlatan?
He's more impactful. I'll say that off the bat. Yes, Zlatan scored more goals, and I'll credit Zlatan this. He to me he's one of my favorite players just because of how the air around him, and I can remember the hype when he went to LA. It almost reminded me of kind of what I've heard about the hype when David Beckham went to LA. He's sort of that kind of mold, but he's been a way more impactful signing to a way more important season. I know when he was there, we won the treble, and sadly he
Well,
got hurt.
not
We won the treble. We won
yeah.
we won the treble in lowercase. Like, um, but to me, I think Cavani's been way more impactful. We needed a guy like him off the bench. Number one, we needed a guy to step up. Especially, we didn't know that Martial was going to be injured. What do you do if Martial's injured? Now you have to burn Dan James on the right. Now you have to kind of switch Rashford to play on the right. Now because you're going to have to move Greenwood up. You're gonna have to give way too much time to a guy like Shola Tire. I genuinely I've watched him in the youth, and I think he's genuinely could be something, especially how young he is. I don't know if he's experienced. I don't know if he's ready for the Premier League. The same thing goes with Ahmad. So
Right.
to me, getting a guy like him, especially as insurance, it has been unbelievably significant. I saw a tweet that said something around, I haven't seen a more complete striker at United since maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy, which I can get behind and I can agree because you kind of have Rooney, who, yes, Rooney talent wise is more talented than Cavani, but the kind of the runs he makes, I don't think Rooney made those kind of runs. The passing, the link of play, the overall finishing ability, the heading ability. To me, I think there's a case to be made that Cavani overall, as an overall striker, it has been the best overall striker United have seen in a while.
Okay. No, and that makes sense. I think he has been. I mean, we talk about, even the curse of the number 7 shirt being broken since Ronaldo has left. We've seen guys like Depay, Valencia, a washed Michael Owen, Di Maria, uh, wear that shirt, but not really fill in the
The
shoes.
Chilean that won't be named.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about him. Um, we've seen guys try to fill the stature and the legacy of the number 7 shirt, and we just haven't seen it. And now Edinson Cavani, 20 goal involvements in all competitions this season for Manchester United. I think safe to say that, I think he's shooting it well, and I think he's shooting it nicely. Now, there was reports that he might go to Boca Juniors, and I feel that might be the case after the 2022 season. I think that's what's most likely going to happen. I think just 2 seasons at United, barring any injuries. Maybe a third, but I doubt it at that point because then you're maybe looking at potentially replacing, potentially getting in another striker as well, like a Haaland around that next season. And maybe another striker at that time, or maybe even trying to fill Greenwood at that striker position because Greenwood's playing out of position on the right. So something along those lines could be used instead of re-signing another striker. But just going into this summer transfer window, starting June 9th, Manchester United have been linked to several strikers, whether it be Andre Silva, Haaland, or just the return, and we hear it almost at nauseum throughout, like, the past, I don't know, ever since he left, was the return of Cristiano Ronaldo. I just want to bring that up because Ben and I will have a podcast out by the time you're watching this, or maybe it's going to be out tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this. Again, the link to our podcast is in the description down below. Go check it out. Is that, with the implications that are going on at Juve and the ish situation, them possibly playing in the Europa League next season instead of the Champions League, that Cristiano Ronaldo might be leaving, that he might be done at Juventus. I mean, there was a lot of reports this past summer, and throughout the season that this is his last season. Him and his agent are trying to shop around. There isn't a lot of places that Ronaldo could go, and one of them maybe likely was the opportunity to return to Old Trafford, to return to Manchester United. But with Cavani filling in that number 7 shirt and him sticking around for one more season, does that kind of nix that idea, that plan to potentially bring back CR7?
I'll say this. Look, I think we all want him to come back to a certain degree. Like I know Adam McCullough of Jeffrey Paddock said, fight temptation, say maybe not, because it's like asking to a degree, it's like asking Sir Alex Ferguson to come back to the job. You don't want to see that legacy kind of ruined. It's already set in place. It's already set in standard. You know, you don't really want to see that. I think what this does is, number one, it gives Martial a push. You know, remember the scene in Ted Lasso when Jamie Tart isn't really playing all that well, and all of a sudden here comes this one guy and he's lighting. I can't remember his name.
Danny Rojas.
Danny Rojas.
He sings it, Ben.
I've watched that show like 8 times. Danny Rojas comes in and he basically makes Jamie Tart want to play better, and he makes Jamie Tart and he challenges Jamie Tart to play better. I think that's what Cavani is going to do with Martial. I think Martial knows he probably has a season left, and you could see it. You could see that once he's going to come back, because it seems like he's going to come back to training at least. Once he's going to come back to training, you're going to see a lot of people happy for him. Not just the fans, but the players as well. Right. I think it gives Martial a prove it season. I really truly think it does. And in my eyes, I don't think Haaland leaves, and I think Kane wants to leave, but he's going to be priced out of a move. Because I think if the Man United upper brass had the choice between Haaland and Kane, I think they'd pick Kane. I'd pick Haaland because he's younger. He's not a complete forward, but he's just a finisher. That's all you need. I think he's a finisher. He can make those kind of runs. He's deadly in any position on the field. So to me, I would pick him. But coming back to the Ronaldo point, I thought it was unlikely anyways. He's going to be asking for 400K a week. He's going to be asking for those wages. And yes, you can make the argument, well, if we start the Gea, if we do this, we do that. But we're stretching. Let's be honest. Man United's going to have a net spend of maybe 100 million. But and that's a bit much. You're already paying, let's just assume you're already paying 80 million to get Jadon Sancho. Your next biggest need, in my opinion, would be defensive midfielder. I love James Garner, but it looks like he's going to go out on loan again. So you're going to get a defensive midfielder. It looks like Matic is going to leave. So that's going to – a good one is going to – I've wanted Basuma for a while, but United apparently don't want Basuma, who's like 30.
I think it might come down to Declan Rice. I think that's the biggest one that they're pushing for at this point.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they're going to go get Ndidi. So that's going to be what, 50, 60 million, depending on what you see from the Jesse Lingard saga that's going to happen.
Right.
And then what? You sell De Gea, you sell Matic, you let Mata go. That's not going to bring you in enough money for a 100 million move for Harry Kane. I like Harry Kane, but at this situation, it's not going to bring you enough money for Kane. It's not going to bring enough money for Ronaldo. It's not going to bring enough money for Haaland. Maybe wait a year. Maybe if Ronaldo kicks up a fuss and says, no, I want to leave now, you could see it. Again, I just think that a lot of people are going to be priced out of a move for a lot of these top strikers, including Ronaldo.
Right. Well, not to get too much into transfer speculation, I know I just wanted to bring up the Ronaldo point because there's a lot of talk on Twitter and across many circles that Ronaldo is looking to return to Manchester United, that Manchester United are also interested in the return of Cristiano Ronaldo to bring him back to the Premier League and bring him back to Old Trafford. I think that's a story that's just going to keep developing over the summer. We'll wait to see what happens, especially with Juventus. And again, Ben and I are going to be covering that on a episode on Banter Broadcast, our podcast. So make sure you guys go check it out. The link will be in the description down below. One final point I want to bring up is, was this the best move for Manchester United to make? Was the signing of Cavani, it was bringing on Cavani for another year, the best move for them to make right now? Or should they have gone and maybe push to sign a striker this season, or push to sign, Ronaldo during the transfer window?
I think it is. You look at it in that situation where again,
No, I think so too. I definitely think I'm agreeing that I think so too.
yeah. You look it comes down to a couple of facets. Number one, you have a consistent guy there. Martial, I love him to death. But he scored 6 goals this season. I know he got injured, but that was 6 goals in 20 something games.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
seven.
major drop off from last season,
Yeah.
even
Post lockdown,
post break. Yeah,
he was unplayable. Like he was
yeah,
unbelievable. Uh, you can count the own goal versus Paris if you want to. So that's 7. But you now look at that situation. It gives him a kick up the rear end to try and get something going because that's why they brought him in for a second year. It gives
right.
Mason Greenwood someone to learn from because it seems like if they're going to go in for a second striker, I personally believe they're probably still Martial because if they're going in for a second striker, that means they don't trust Martial enough. So now and to have him on, I believe he's on a pretty good wage. So to have him on a wage like that to be a backup to
Yeah,
me doesn't seem to fit.
yeah. No,
Number
I
three,
get you.
it's not a backwards or lateral move here. It's staying where you are because the big thing is if you make 2 or 3 signings this summer and those signings are defender, center, defensive midfielder, and right mid or right winger. If you make those 3 signings, I think that improves more than getting a striker right now. And I think you make those 3 signings, you get Pogba to stay. If I'm going to give it a 50-50, you get Pogba to stay. And now you have the situation where you are now in contention. I think if you make those 3 signings, you're now in contention. And then you can worry next year. Okay, we can get it. We now need to get a striker. That's our one marquee signing. Maybe we need to get like another midfielder, or I
Right,
mean, I hope not because
just
then
to
the bench
see.
there.
Yeah,
But
no, just
yeah,
to see, or maybe potentially more role pieces as well, or
yeah,
depending on maybe getting a backup right back, or if Tellez does move on, potentially moving on from Tellez as well, maybe getting another left back in there as well. Not to get into too much of Manchester United's transfer business, but it does have to be brought up because this is going to be a big window for them. Because I think they're like you said, Ben, they are on the cusp of potentially challenging with City. I mean, they kind of already are. I mean, I know it's there's a very small chance that City messes
it ain't
up.
over till it's over, friend.
I know. Until it's mathematically over, we can say 21 is still on. Um, but I agree with you. I agree. I think another point that you didn't mention though is the fact that it's familiarity. You already have a great rapport and relationship with with Rashford, with Greenwood, with Bruno, Pogba, Ollie as well. Cavani has come out and praised Ollie and praised what Manchester United has been able to do this season. Potentially being able to lift a trophy for the club as well in the Europa League final, which again, Ben and I mentioned on the previous podcast that we did, which was the Champions League semifinal review. But Ben and I will be live streaming and doing a watch party of the Champions League and Europa League matchups, the final for both of them. So Ben and I will be
I
going
cry
live.
on both. So
Ben and I will be going live for that, so you guys will be watching that, and you guys will be able to watch alongside with us. So make sure to like and subscribe and turn notifications on, so you guys stay up to date when we go live with that, and when more videos and more content is being produced for you guys. Again, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Was this a good re-signing for Manchester United? Should they have gone after Cristiano Ronaldo? Should they maybe have pushed for another striker like Haaland or Kane? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you are excited about Cavani returning to Old Trafford and being able to play in front of fans next season, let us know in the comment section. Make sure to smash a like on the video as well if you guys are very excited. That's going to be it for us. Ben, is there anything left to say to the beautiful people out there?
bro, I know Old Trafford's not in the best condition. So if Cavani heads in a winner against City, I think the Stretford End might collapse.
It might. I'm honestly really excited to see him pull out that bow celebration that he does.
Oh my!
And right in front of the Stretford End, in front of the thousands in attendance. That's gonna be lively, and that's gonna be really nice to watch. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Take it easy, have a good one, and peace.